the beginning part out.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Anthony Show, guys. I have a new feature on my channel where we talk about online coaching, nutrition, more into the fitness realm. And this is my good old friend. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy Clark. I am an online nutrition coach. And like Anthony said, I'm going to be helping him out with his nutrition and helping him get into the best shape of his life, which I am excited about. And yeah, man, I'm excited to be a part of this. And thanks for trusting me to be your coach.
Of course. So let's talk about how we met.
Yeah, man. So we met via a mutual friend, and then it just kind of took off from there. As far as like how I got into the nutrition coaching, I actually got into it because of basketball. I used to play college basketball, and growing up, I wasn't the most athletic. I wasn't the strongest, wasn't the fastest, and jumped the highest. I was pretty much like your stereotypical white kid that just like stands in the corner and shoots threes. Luckily, I was good enough at shooting that I was able to play in college for a little bit. But once I got into college, I was kind of like, oh shit, everyone. Oh, am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I was like, oh shit, because everyone at the college level is so much stronger, so much faster, and I needed to find something that would help me get up to that level. And up until that point, I felt like I had been doing everything. Like if I was training multiple times per day, skill work, weight room, whatever, you name it, like I was doing it. The only missing link really was nutrition. I hadn't really taken that into account just yet. So I started looking more into that. And the funny thing is that when I first started, I did what was probably the worst thing I could have done for my basketball performance, which I don't know if anyone watching this has heard of the Paleo Diet, but it's one of those fad diets, and essentially you eat like the cavemen would have eaten. And one of the main premises is cutting out a lot like grains, and by doing that, you cut out a main source of carbs, which like if you're a basketball player, if you're an athlete, like you need carbs to perform. So I essentially cut out most of that food group. So I ended up dropping 21 pounds over the course of less than 2 months. So I got really, really skinny. And yeah, but at the same time, I'm really glad it happened to me because that's what led me to learn more and more about nutrition and like macros and like how to go about it the right way. And then I just got super interested in it and really fell in love with the field. So that eventually led me to get certified as a nutrition coach, start working with clients. And then funny enough, near the end of last year, I actually decided to stop playing basketball and focus on building my coaching business just because I was so much more interested in the nutrition side of things than I was in like actually playing basketball, which is funny because like I got into nutrition because of basketball, and then I ended up walking away from basketball because of nutrition. But yeah, that pretty much brings us to, that was a few months ago. And then from there, I've been working on building my business, coaching clients, getting them results. And that pretty much brings us to where we're at now.
A little bit about me, if you don't know about my fitness career, is that I'm a certified personal trainer. Been certified for almost about a year now. For group fitness, I've been certified for a year and a half. I'm F45 trained. It's like a boot camp. It's getting known, like really up there. They're expanding their location. So it's like a startup. So I was trained by the headquarters for group fitness. And the reason why, so I started working out for about maybe 2 years now, but on and off because of school, of course, and my diet, of course, since I'm in college. I really started my fitness career, I would say, at UC Merced when I just got into college. And it was rough because I didn't really know what I was doing. I did like arms every day. I had big arms, but I was just bulky. Like you couldn't even see the lines with the shoulders and the arms. Like it was bad, man. Like yes, the girls liked it, but it didn't fool like the people who were actually fit. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, I got you.
Girls, when you wear clothes, they like, oh shit, he's bulky. But compared to a fit guy, he's like, oh dude, he's fat. Like this guy needs to like hop on some cardio and stuff. This guy needs to eat cleaner. And it's just like, it was pretty discouraging at times. So I started learning about fitness, and then that's when I became certified, and that's when I made the change. Right now, since this is about my second year in fitness, now I'm going more into the nutrition side, which I'm a third year here at UC Davis, which T. Clark applied to. Hopefully he comes here, but
we will see. We will see.
that's a reach. So hopefully he comes here. But yeah, and I want to work on my nutrition is because like, yeah, I'm buying food. I'm trying to eat healthy, but if I'm not hitting my macros, or if I'm not eating that much, if I have a goal, then it's not going to make sense. Like I could work out every day, which I can't even do that every day. As a college student taking like a full-time student while working, you can only work out maybe like 4 to 6 times a week. So it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. So I can't do that. So I got to work on my nutrition, because that makes up how much percent of your...
It's hard to, I know, like I've heard the saying like 80% of your results are made in the kitchen. I mean, like, it's hard to put a number on it, but nutrition is super important. Like the thing is, when you're first starting off, if you don't give a crap about what you're eating, if you eat whatever and you just lift, like you're gonna see results for maybe a few weeks, few months even. After those few months though, you're gonna plateau. And then from there, that's where nutrition really starts to become super important and helps you to break through that plateau. Because where a lot of people go wrong is they get those newbie gains and then they plateau, and then they kind of just give up. They're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, like there's nowhere to go from here. And they just keep trying the same thing over and over again, not really paying attention to what they're eating. And they just end up getting frustrated and either plateau, stay where they're at, or even worse, just kind of fall off and go back to how they were before. Whereas if you take your nutrition into consideration and really pay attention to what you're eating, how much you're eating, that can help you break through. Nutrition will essentially break through any plateau. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. And it's like, if you're a college student and if you have a budget and your goal, you're spending all this money just to like look good, feel good, and be good and all that stuff, might as well know have a coach to tell you what exactly to like hit, like your number of calories, your macros.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat too much, because that also costs too much money and you're not going to see your results. So you kind of want to hit that mark. You want to have someone who kind of like keeps you accountable for it and make sure you're going to hit your goal while you're investing all this money in food.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like a really common misconception like among college students is like, oh, I can't afford a nutrition coach. Like, look at how much money you're spending eating out. Look at how much money you're spending on supplements that probably aren't working. Look at how much money you're spending on alcohol. Like, we're just being completely honest here. Like, just, there's so much, like, and the investment for a coach, the return on investment is huge. Like, not even just in how you look, but how you feel, how much you're able to focus during class, like your sleep quality, your energy levels throughout the day, your performance in the gym, like you name it, like nutrition will affect it and improve it. So like the investment to invest in a coach is one of the best investments you can make, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the video, I have a few ideas that I came up with. I'll talk over it with you before we make it out to the public.
Sounds good.
So, since we're starting this journey, this is the first day of everything. What T. Clark did, well, you introduced yourself as Tommy. What he did was he gave me a few forms to like fill out, just talking about like what my goals are. I filled out all those stuff. And if you ever want to give him a shot, just go check him out. We're going to be doing these on the weekly, maybe 3 videos a week, maybe 1 video a week. So there's going to be a weekly basis on top of like the daily vlogs and stuff. So yeah, I just lost my train of thought.
No worries, man. Like you were saying, the first process really with any client I take in is an intake form. It's a ton of questions, like really allowing me to get a background on the client's individual situation, because individualization is the key to success in nutrition. That's where so many diets fall apart. That's where so many coaches just aren't able to get results, because they stick to these like cookie cutter template formats that just don't work for everyone, because the reality is everyone's different. So that's the very first step. Like with Anthony, Adam Bell as intake form really allowed me to get a clear picture of where he's at currently. So that allowed me to put together the proper initial plan for him to make sure that he's getting started on the right track. And then part of that intake was for him to track his food as well, to really just give me a good idea of what his food intake looks like. And really, even if you're not working with a coach, you should track your food. Even if you're not tracking like indefinitely, at least for like 3, 4, 5 days, is to really allow yourself to see where you're at, because odds are like you're either eating a lot more